Today we're going to kick things off with a viewer recommendation. This is a Toyota MR2 from a brand called Pico model. Pico is most known for resin models, and I have had a number of people suggest that I pick up one of their resin models, and I almost certainly will in the future. But this MR2 is a diecast model, and I've heard very good things about this, so it's going to be very interesting to check it out. So Pico is, obviously since they do resin models, it's a very high-end, super premium type brand. So we should hopefully see a very nice model here. And it looks like this is some kind of collaboration with this micro turbo, whoever that is. I don't know anything about that. I tried to see if there's anything I could find online about that brand or that name, and I couldn't find anything. But Pico Models is definitely well known. They do resin models mostly, and up to scale 1/8. So very very large resin models, and I think those 1/8 scale resin models cost like $3,000 or something, which is really crazy. So this is limited to 2,000 pieces. Looks like it comes in an acrylic box with some little bit of styrofoam or foam to keep it in place. And it is screwed on to this little interesting acrylic plinth, so it just slides apart. That's kind of cool. I've never seen that before. And those stop right there, so very, very interesting. Okay, so we have to unscrew this because we have to get it off the base, of course. All right. And there we go. Interesting box for sure. Something I have definitely never seen. All right, so let's give this thing a look. So this is die-cast. It does seem to have a metal body and a metal base. It has rubber tires. They're actually pretty soft rubber too. Little exhaust detail on here. It does say micro turbo on the bottom. So if you know what that is, please let me know. If it's a sub-brand of Pico or if it's some kind of collaboration, with a third party. So I have seen other people get this model and really rave about it as one of the most detailed die-cast models that they've seen. And this looks very nice to me. This is definitely a very good model. I'm not going to say this is the best I've ever seen, though. It is very cool. So it looks like the headlights pop up. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And, interesting. So there's just a little lever on the base there. And they move very easily as well. Very smooth mechanism. Not cheap feeling at all, like a lot of the kind of pop-up headlights that you'll see like that. So this is a beautiful model. There's no doubt. It looks really good. There's nothing really going on in the interior though. It's all black. I know it's hard to see in there, but nice model. Definitely not gonna say this is the best model I have ever seen. It is. I have seen better, but it's cool. So happy to have that. Very cool to check it out. I need to pick up one of their resin models and check that out. And so next up, I'm going to try wiping off this lens because it's not focusing. Sorry about that. The from Pop Race, we have another Audi R8. It's still not really focusing. This is the Super GT 2019 series. So this is the 2019 version of the R8. We've seen a number of these R8 LMS cars lately on the channel, as I've been expanding my collection of the R8. The R8 of all of the different GT3 type cars that exist, the R8 has always been my least favorite. So I didn't pick up a huge number of these, or I hadn't been collecting them. Let me put it that way. But I decided to change my mind on that as the car has grown on me, like many things do over time. And this Pop Race. So this is the 2019 version of the car. We had seen another Pop Race version. This was the 2013, I believe. Does it say on the bottom? No, it doesn't. This is the 2013 version of the car, and we can see how Pop Race's treatment of the car has improved quite a bit since this one. Like, this one has particularly unattractive and chunky mirrors on it, whereas this one looks quite a bit better. So they got the yellow acrylic headlights, which you would often see on GT3 cars. And then you've got engine detail in the back, which is pretty cool. And looks like lensed taillights as well. So these are metal body, metal base, rubber tires. And let's see, there's an antenna on top of there, and that is completely blurry. So does it roll? It rolls if you kind of press down on it, but otherwise, no, it slides around. Let's see, does this roll? Technically, yes, but it's not a super free roller. You're not going to send that thing down a racetrack. This one, the front tires definitely hang up a little bit, but yeah, this is a nice model. It's definitely nicer than the earlier version of this R8 from Pop Race, and then we can compare it to the Para64 version of, actually that's not the right iteration. I think this is the right iteration. So these are the same generation of R8, and the Para64 versus the Pop Race on the top, and they both do a pretty good job. The wheels on the Para64 actually look a little bit better to me, but the Pop Race has brake discs, and actually looks like it has brake calipers in there as well. I don't know if you can see those. They're pretty hard to see in there, but it does look like there are calipers in there and discs. And then you get the antenna on the top, which is something you don't get on the Para64 version of the car. You don't get brake discs or calipers either. But Pop Race overall does a pretty good job. You can definitely see that this one is an older release, and they have improved the quality from when they put this one out to this one, which is cool. All right, very nice. Next up, another Para64. This is the Mercedes AMG GT63S in blue. And I'm not sure how I feel about this car. It's it's a big Mercedes sedan, or I don't know, is this a big Mercedes sedan, or maybe it's kind of a mid-sized Mercedes sedan as far as these things go. Blue, I do not like the way that they did this silver around the windows. That does not look good to me at all. So I don't know if this was one of the earlier Para64 castings. They don't have dates on the bottom or anything. Still has the slick tires on a road car problem that Para64 has. And yeah, the headlights look pretty good. The grill's not too bad. Yeah, I just do not like this silver treatment around the windows. And this it's kind of, yeah. For me, this is definitely kind of a mediocre release from Para64. I definitely like a lot of their other models better. I had just done the Para64 Beyond Hot Wheels episode, so I had picked this up because I wanted to have an example of the casting. I didn't really get this one because it was a car I was super excited about, and I think my initial feeling about the car is is correct. I'm glad to have it just to have an example of that casting, but I definitely will not be picking up any more versions of this car. And but a car I am picking up several versions of, the 1968 Plymouth Satellite from Greenlight. This is from Estate Wagons Series 7. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby the other day for $8. Hopefully it's in decent shape as we get it out of the package. I've really grown to love this Satellite casting from Greenlight. It was a car I was completely unfamiliar with when I first started collecting, but I love wagons, so of course, started grabbing some of the Greenlight wagons and picked up a case of this wagon series, and it included the first one of these that I picked up, and kind of fell in love with it from there. So this looks pretty good. It's got the red ring around the tires, and looks like maybe the axle might be a little bent, but they did a reasonable job on the ring on the tires, which is always a question mark with Greenlight. All four of them even, which is great because that kind of makes the look of the car, in this particular release. So this is, you got GTX logo here on the side, and you want that red ring around the tires. That's an important element of the look. And so if you had to flip the tires around or something because the rings were all screwed up, that would be very disappointing. But this has a flip down tailgate, which actually works pretty well on this one. I don't see any major issues with it, which is a win with Greenlight. So awesome. Love this one. It's very cool. This particular case of estate wagons actually had two satellites in it. So there's a green one as well that hopefully I'll find that one at some point. I would definitely like to have that one too. So this looks good. Very cool. Next from Majorette, Aston Martin Vantage GT8. 8? Yeah. This looks cool. Haven't been a lot of good versions of Aston Martins done in diecast, or small scale diecast form. 1/64 scale, although this probably isn't 1/64th. This is 1/60th scale. Hot Wheels, they put out quite a few Aston Martins, but they seem to always just do something wrong with every release that they put out. I haven't seen them put out one that I would truly consider good yet. And this one looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a Majorette, so it's not going to be, a super premium type diecast, and it's from the toy category, so it's metal body, plastic base, plastic tires on this one. This is, so the Majorette premium release. Opening doors, which is cool. And this one does have suspension. And, it of course rolls very nicely. Actually, how did this wagon roll? Actually, the roll's pretty good too. It's a good release from Greenlight. Good job, Greenlight. I criticize you a lot, but I also give you kudos when you do it right, and that's a good one. Love Greenlight. I just wish they could deal with their quality, so you don't have to make these comments. I would love to just, praise the brand with no reservations. Unfortunately, that's just not possible. Next, from Kyosho, a brand which does, get pretty good praise from a lot of people, and from me as well most of the time. So this is a Bentley Continental Super Sport convertible. This is obviously not a Kyosho blind box release. Most of the Kyoshos I've gotten to this point have been, blind box releases from the early 2000s. This one doesn't have a year on it, but it is almost certainly a later, maybe a little bit later release than the blind box releases. So this was 1,000 yen in Japan, if you could buy it in Japan, which is about a little bit under $8. So not an expensive model in Japan, but once it comes to the U.S., they get to be a little more expensive. And I think I paid $25 for this model. Maybe questionable, are they worth $25? Well, only you can determine that, whether it's worth it to you or not. So this is just supposed to be metallic black, but there's not a lot of metal flake in this paint. It is metallic. It is in there. This paint does not look great. So I think last week I was talking about Kyoshos and the fact that I hadn't had any major paint qualities with them, and this one, you can definitely see a little bit of roughness in this paint. It's a cool car though. So this is metal body, plastic base, rubber tires. These wheels do not spin super freely, which is very unusual for a Kyosho. You have lens taillights, which look pretty good, and that's something Kyosho has typically done really well. Has been taillight detail. The headlights are okay looking, and just a black interior, but so this is a pretty rough roller. This is by far the roughest rolling Kyosho I've ever seen. Let's see, maybe if we can back these screws off like a half a turn. Nope. Still, it sort of rolls, but I mean that helped. But yeah, I mean the older blind box Kyoshos, like this Porsche that we looked at last week. I mean these things roll great. So I guess they went a little higher end and took a few step backs. Or I don't know, is this a higher end model? I mean, they raised the price on it. The blind box ones cost like $4 or $3, in if you bought them in Japan. And then these are around the 8,000 yen, so $8 price point. Is it a better model than the blind box models? I don't think so. But it's cool. I'm glad to have a convertible version of the Bentley. And will go in my Bentley collection quite well with the awesome Mini GT versions of the car. Obviously, the Mini GT is a newer model year, but still cool. So, yeah, it's nice, but not perfect for sure. All right, so next, this is a little lot of older racing champions that I had picked up off of eBay. I just really wanted this car, this Ford Thunderbolt. This is an awesome casting, and it came with these other two. So we got a 1967 Plymouth Fury 2, and then a Mako Shark concept car. This actually looks pretty neat. This one, we'll see. We'll get it out of the package. I'm not looking at it in the package. It's not super interesting, but this one actually does look pretty cool. And it looks a lot like a Corvette, at least to me. It looks like a Corvette. I don't know anything about this car. I really should have looked it up. I had intended to, and forgot. because it looks like a Corvette to me. Actually, does that say Corvette on there? It does. It is a Corvette. Okay. So yeah. So at the time, this is Racing Champions. So these are older Racing Champions. So the brand was, I believe, owned by Erdl at this time. This Thunderbolt is definitely an Erdl casting, and I thought I saw that it said on one of these packages, and it may have been the package for this one, that it was Racing Champions, copyright RC Erdl Incorporated. I assume that means that they owned Racing Champions at this time, whenever these came out, so 2003. But this is pretty cool. So this has rubber tires, chrome wheels. It's got a nice two-tone paint job, so blue with a kind of a silver mist along the bottom of it, and decent looking all black interior, and it's a cool looking car, and a little painted detail on the back there. Nice painted detail all around in reality. Yeah, I think this thing is really cool. A lot of detail in the base, or a lot of structure and depth in the base, a lot more than you would see on most models. And and it even rolls quite nicely. So not rubber tires, plastic tires. So yeah, this is really cool. I like this a lot better than I expected I would. Very nice. This one I'm not too sure about. 1967 Plymouth Fury 2. Let's get it out of here and take a look. It's cool in that it's a big land yacht. Actually, I do like it better now that it's out of the package. So this one, I think, this one has rubber tires. Looks like it has an opening hood. Oh, nice orange engine block in there. Some black detail for the air cleaner and such. No detail in the front, just chrome. Does have a license plate on there. Looks like maybe Illinois. I can't read that. My vision is a little iffy today. Yeah, Illinois. Painted tail lights. Let's see, no opening trunk, so just the opening hood. Yeah, this is cool too. The way this looked in the package to me, it didn't really look all that great. But out of the package, it's not bad. I mean, this hood, the way this hood is sitting, isn't perfect. It's not closing all the way, but it looks pretty cool. So it's a nice addition to the land yacht collection. It's not a super high end model or anything. This is definitely on the low end of premium diecast, plastic base, but cool. And it rolls a little bit rougher than the one with plastic wheels, but still, I don't know, pretty cool. Like it better than I expected. So this is the one that I really wanted, this 1964 Ford Thunderbolt. So I had learned of this release from Joe at XLT Off-Road Bear. He was showing this model one time as a somewhat inexpensive way to get this casting. And this is just such a cool casting. Such a cool car. And so this is the original, this is the Erdl, or the Erdl base. So this casting has been put out by Johnny Lightning recently. So they had put it out in two versions. This Tasca Ford, they put out the white version, and then this kind of maroon and gold version, but they retooled it to have a metal base. And at least on my two versions, they also screwed them up. They have, you know, rubber tires, but neither one of these sits right. Neither one of them rolls. This one, like, they both rock, and like you put them on the table, and the front wheel, that wheel doesn't even touch. So this is very disappointing to me because these are probably my favorite Johnny Lightning releases of anything that I have, and but it is, you know, the same casting, and let me see, you know, detail. Although the engine on the Johnny Lightning actually has more detail than this one does. That's interesting. But these should be awesome, you know. And it killed me to see this. The wheels, these front wheels are just messed up. But anyway, very cool releases. And I've heard, you know, other people in the comments said that they got good versions of these. So I had just had bad luck with them. It's not a general flaw with the release or anything. So if you find those, I highly recommend them. And then this one is just a more, you know, street stock looking version of the car. I'm a little surprised that and this hood is like on springs. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. But there's no detail in there, or, you know, it's just black, which is a little bit surprising. And I think the trunk opens on this one. The Johnny Lightning, the trunk does not open. Actually, there's more detail in painted detail in the trunk for the fuel or whatever that is, or a suitcase, maybe than there is in the engine, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, it just is a cool car though. This release seems like, yeah, this one rolls. Oh wow, this rolls really smooth. That thing's like it's cruising down the boulevard smooth. That's nice. Yeah. It's a cool car. I wish the Johnny. I need to find new or other versions of those Johnny Lightnings. See if I can get better ones, because these are fantastic. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop praising this now. Love this casting. I don't know why. I don't know why I have such an affinity for this car, but I'm a fan. So, okay, moving on. In 64, we have the Acura. This is a Honda NSX. In America, these are, of course, Acuras. But this is from Super Taiku 2009 ST3 class winner. So a pretty cool looking racing version of the NSX. And of course an Inno 64, so we should expect, you know, a pretty detailed model, super premium level model. And we probably will also expect this one's not going to roll at all, and that is true. The wheels do not turn, but that is what you get with these very low sitting Inno 64s. So not a surprise at all. So you've got Advan tires, little antenna here on the roof that you've got to be careful with. Got some nice detail through the window into the engine. This is, of course, a mid-engine car. And quite nice looking taillight section with the little Honda badge there in the middle. Looks really good. So this one is going to be a metal body with a plastic base. This is, you know, an older Inno 64 casting. All newer Inno 64 castings will have metal bases now. And then you have the racing style NSXR headlights, and then a very detailed interior, which if we can zoom in here, we can see this seat with seat belts on there, and just the driver's seat as you would expect for a race car, and shifter knob in there, which looks like it's just a little nub. I don't know what the car would have actually had, but I'm gonna try to show the dashboard, and I'm probably gonna fail, but we'll try. Yeah, I can't see anything in there, but looks like it's got a gray roll cage. You can see the roll bar sticking down there, and And some, you do get some silver on these mirrors. Got to be careful with these mirrors. Those definitely would break off. Yeah, this is a very cool release. It's a cool car. Nice version. Like the gold wheel on the front and the black wheel on the back with the red rim. That looks really cool. Yeah, this is excellent. Like that one a lot. Next, from Majorette, we have a Renault 5 Turbo, this time in red. This came to me from Chris at CRA Diecast. Thank you, Chris. We had seen this a couple weeks ago in blue. Oops, that's... wow. That was a blind reach, if you can't guess. I thought that's where I had put the Renault 5. So you get it in blue. This is just a recolor in red. And, of course, opening tailgate. And just a cool car. Cool, it's an old rally car. And yeah, just I don't know. Like I always say about this car, I just think this car is neat. I don't know what it is about it. Just a cool little old hatchback. This of course has suspension, plastic tires, wheels and tires on this, so it's going to roll. Majorettes always roll really well because they are technically toys. I collect them as an adult collector, but they are toys. Very cool. Love that car. Next, from Jeep, and or not Jeep, from Greenlight. It is a Jeep, 1984 Jeep Cherokee. This is in the Vintage Ad Car series, which is one of my favorite Greenlight series because you get the cool ad. It's one of the Greenlight series where you get actual, model specific card art, which is always a nice thing to me. This is from Series 5, and get kind of the same thing on the back with the list of all of the other cars that are in the set. Something Greenlight is also inconsistent about doing, which I think hurts them. I don't understand why they don't do this. I've been standing in the store. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. Standing in the store looking at a model and wondering, okay, well, what are the other cars that are part of this set? And do I want to buy a whole case, or do I want to go ahead and just buy this one model? And, I have to pull out my phone and look it up on my phone and all that kind of stuff. Greenlight, you should just put it on the back all the time, consistently, for all of your series. And I cut this, but I did not cut it correctly. And get this out, take a look at it. Love this casting. You might say that the tires are maybe a little too thick for this, but since it's an off-road vehicle, it doesn't look too bad. But they are a little square and a little overly large, I suspect, for the vehicle. But this is, just a stock trim level to match what was in that ad. And you have, of course, painted front end and painted rear end like you would get on most Greenlights. We've got clear windows on here, which is good. Tires look a little rough. Metal base, of course. But yeah, I mean, other than the slightly overly chunky tires, this casting is just cool. I love the casting. So I had blindly grabbed this one because this is my previous favorite, and I was thinking maybe this red one might knock this Hollywood release off. These are obviously different years. Or I'm going to guess they're different years. Probably do say. Yeah, so one's an 83 and one is an 84. So, which one do you like better? I think I'm still partial to this one, though this one is very cool. But I think this one, there's something about this gray, and it's, I don't know. I really like that one a lot. This was a Hollywood release. All right. Moving on. Another one of my favorite things, Land Rover Defender 110. This is from Master. And this is the pickup version in a nice kind of forest green. Oh, geez. The cover makes a quick escape. Looks like this has a bed cover and an extra wheel, which I don't know if there's a place to mount that wheel on here, but I'll get this off the base. These Master Land Rovers are quite nice. Also pretty expensive in reality. They are, kind of a super premium level thing, but they, when you compare them to the Mini GT version of the same car, they're not a huge step up. So you pay, almost twice the price for not necessarily a huge step up in quality. And this one has an opening tailgate, and okay, they're closed. That's good. No opening hood or anything, just the opening tailgate. And it has rubberized little mud flaps here, which is pretty cool. And a step. And so I think this might actually have a metal base. No, it's probably plastic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's plastic. Lens headlights. And then actually very nice looking taillights. I think those are actually little tiny acrylic pieces too, aren't they? No, they're just paint. Yeah, they're just paint. The ones on the right look a little rough. Flat spotted tires, you see that? From being screwed down to the base. That's a big downside of rubber tires and being screwed onto something flat. Obviously, if you never take the model off the base, you don't ever notice that, but you get some reflective surface in the mirrors. So yeah, this is focus. So we can see the car. Yeah, this is cool. So does it roll? Yeah, it does, but the flat spotted tires, just like on a real car, if you have a race car and you flat spot the tires, it's going to get a pretty unpleasant ride. So the tire wants to fight it, but it does roll. But yeah, this is cool. So this is the only other version of this Master Land Rover that I have. This one's awesome. It's all blacked out. And it's of course the full Defender 110, but pretty similar model overall with the rubber mud guards and all that kind of thing. Yeah, these are very nice. I mean, are they worth the extra premium over a Mini GT? Maybe. I mean, they're. It's hard to say. I mean, that's a call you have to make. Price is always a very, very individual thing because everybody has different budgets. For me, they're probably worth it. I think they're very nice. Very cool. So then we have another pop race. This is the Chevrolet Cruze WTC or WTCC, so World Touring Car Championship. Number 2 FIA WTCC 2011. Rob Huff is the driver. And I can't say that, the Chevrolet Cruze is going to be the most exciting car in the world to me, but I do like, touring car race cars, and I do like the pop race brand. And so I've been trying to grab examples. Wow, this is really heavy. Examples of all of their castings. So grabbing one of these was a necessity. So yeah, so this is a metal body, metal base. You know, as I said, it was surprisingly heavy. I expected it to be light, because I was expecting it to have a plastic base, but it does not. Yeah, definitely not going to be the most exciting car in the world. They have some pretty nice treatment on the taillights here. A little silver around the base and red. I don't know what the real taillights on this car look like, so can't say whether that's accurate or not. But lensed headlights, cool looking silver grille. Rubber tires with no tread, as you would expect. It is a race car, so it would have slicks on it. Mirrored surface on the mirrors, as you would hope. Yeah, this is cool. The interior doesn't seem to have... Oh, no, it does. It has seat belts. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it does have, you know, decals or something in there to replicate seat belts. Pop races seem to have pretty detailed interiors, or at least, you know, some level of extra stuff in the interior in them. So yeah, it's, you know, cool. Not the world's most exciting car, but it's a nice model of it. Looks like it probably will roll. Actually, yeah, rolls okay. You're not going to send this down a racetrack, but it does technically roll. Yeah, cool. Happy to have this as part of my pop race collection and as an example of that casting. And it's a nice looking release in reality. Got the British flag on the roof, big Chevy logo on the hood. Chevrolet twice in a row. Interesting. Yeah. Cool. All right. Majorette. This is a McLaren. Doesn't really say that on the packaging. So this is a Majorette Street Cars release. So this is their, you know, lowest end model in their current line. So like kind of equivalent to a Hot Wheels main line, although a little bit nicer than a typical Hot Wheels main line. So you do get full detail around on these taillight tampos. So it's, you know, of course, plastic base, plastic tires. You do have actual lensed, those are separate pieces, I think, because this one's not entirely in there, right? So yeah, that's kind of surprising. No separate pieces for the headlights. And what is this specific model? McLaren 675 LT in 1/60th scale. Nice orange color, which is the typical McLaren color, although this is maybe a little more yellowish than the correct color for a McLaren, and, you know, rolls nicely. But yeah, I don't know. It's very cool. That was another gift from Chris at CRA Diecast. Again, thank you, Chris. So another Schuco paper box edition. We've seen a few of these lately. This one is a Land Rover Defender 90 in red. This Schuco Land Rover casting is a very pretty nice casting that I collect. So this is filling out the collection. We've seen quite a few of these. I've shown quite a few of these on the channel. And so we're just going to take a quick look at this one. Red. So these, you know, metal body, metal base, rubber tires. This is Schuco. Lensed headlights. This one has painted tail lights with the different colors. So orange on the outside, then red and silver here. Nice release. Red with kind of a cream colored roof looks good. It rolls, actually rolls really well. And yeah, just a really nice release. But of these, I have to show this one again. This is my favorite of the Schuco Land Rover that they've put out. This was a Hong Kong exclusive bomb disposal unit version. This thing is awesome, and is a perfect example of what you can do with a casting to make it to transform it basically. This is a awesome release from Schuco. I wish they would do more of that. They've been putting this casting out in just slight variations, different colors and roof colors and stuff like that, but this shows that they can really transform it if they really wanted to. And this is an awesome pickup. So thank you for watching.